This video is brought to you by Grainger Warranty, your #1 online source for factory-backed extended warranties in the country. Are new turbo pickup trucks reliable? Are they dependable? Well, I found a very special truck right here. This Ram 1500 Rebel is about 1 year old and it has almost 50,000 miles. One of the most high mileage Ram 1500 3-liter Hurricane twin turbo pickup trucks that are currently out there. If you want to prove me wrong, if you have more miles on your 3-liter Hurricane powered pickup truck, let me know. Put it in the comments below or email ask@tfltruck.com. There's everything pretty amazing actually about it because look, after about 50,000 miles, the interior looks almost brand new. There's no scratches, there's no tears. Let me show you the miles first, then let's take it for a drive. This truck has 48,171 miles right now. And this video would not be possible without our friends at Johnson Auto Plaza. They actually have this truck on sale right there. And I kind of jumped on it because I saw how many miles it has and how young this truck was. This truck was purchased in July of 2024, so it's about a year and about 2 months old. And then it lived in Wisconsin for a lot of its life, and it was a rental. So this was a rental truck. And then finally, in like early September, it was sold, and now it's listed as a one owner. So when you're shopping for a used vehicle, you have to be very quite careful and do your research because you are spending a lot of money still. And it's listed as one owner, but if the history is provided, so everything is pretty clear. But there were a lot of butts in these seats. And here's a window sticker, the Monroney sticker, originally from this truck. It listed at 66,685, 66,000. Right there, here's its government efficiency estimates. It's a 3-liter once again. It's missing one thing that I wish it had, but if I was shopping for a newish pickup, I actually am very tempted by this one. I'll tell you why. But let's get it on the road right now and see how it drives. And no matter which car or truck you have, if you plan on keeping it for a longer period of time, you should check out GraingerWarranty.com. Use the link in the description below. Grainger Warranty is one of the best sellers of factory-backed extended warranties across the country, and you could save some money while doing it, about $1,000 on average. And you don't have to buy it immediately when you buy a brand new vehicle. You could wait a little bit and then get that warranty. And when your truck needs service, you can be sure that they're using certified components, OEM quality stuff, and the work is done at the certified facility or a dealership anywhere across the country. First, I am on this gravel road here at a park near where I live. And, well, yeah, this is not an off-road test. I'm not in the Rocky Mountains right now. I wish I was. But this truck feels really, really solid. Like the way that the suspension is feeling, it's well controlled, so like the shocks are not tired. So that's another clue to me that this truck was probably not off-roaded a lot. I'll also show you a little bit underneath this truck a little bit later in this video because that's another good inspection you can do. You can check it out and see exactly, or get a clue, because this was a rental and you may not know well, there's no way of knowing really who was driving it, how far each person drove it, but you can get other clues from looking underneath the vehicle and actually test driving it and seeing how it works. All right, now let me accelerate pretty hard here on the highway so we can see how this engine does. By the way, we need to talk about the engine first. So this is a 3-liter twin turbo. It's really a new engine for Stellantis and Ram and Jeep and the entire company. But they've apparently taken great care of it, because we heard about this engine years before, maybe 2 years before it actually went into the Jeep Wagoneer, which is the full-size SUV, which kind of was the first vehicle to receive this engine, and then they worked that engine into this truck, which is a 2025 refreshed and updated Ram 1500. So, and I'm glad they did it that way, because trucks, specifically pickups, you really need to, whoa, wow, it accelerates really strong. You really need to be sure it's durable, especially when you're introducing a new engine into the lineup. It seems, from my perspective, I don't work for Ram, but from my perspective, it seems like they took special care of that, and I'm glad they did that. So I'm gonna do another acceleration right here on the side highway. But one beautiful thing about this engine is that it's got this linear power. Straight six engines are incredibly smooth, quiet, because the cylinders are not going kind of in a V like a traditional V8 or a V6, and 420 horsepower and 469 pound-feet of torque. Those are pretty great numbers. So let me kind of slow down here a little bit, and I do have drive modes too. Okay, sport. Oh yeah, there's no problem accelerating. That was already 60 miles an hour. Of course, you don't have that V8 sound, so if you're really looking for that, you're gonna miss it. You may miss it in this truck, but I promise you, you won't miss it. You won't miss the torque, the acceleration, the smoothness of this engine, and also there's not much turbo lag. I mean, the transmission kicks down. By the way, the transmission is shifting beautifully. I've warmed this truck up. It was idling for quite some time, maybe 10 or 20 minutes. So this truck is really warm, and we've done Gauntlet world toughest towing tests with this. We've drag raced this engine. We have off-roaded it at the debut event everywhere across the country. So from my standpoint, this is a solid powertrain that Ram has as a choice for you. All right, so as always, we're gonna start the climb at 35 miles an hour. I'm gonna reset my trip meter, and you're gonna start the timer, right?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, here we go. You ready?
Yes. Copy, copy.
3, 2, 1, go! I'm gonna tell you when we reach 60, so you could tell me how fast we did it.
Okay.
Oof, it's heavy. It can feel it. And 58, 59, 60.
89.
I'm sorry, what?
18.9.
18 seconds.
Yeah, 18 seconds.
Okay. You scared me. You said 89. I'm like, what the heck?
This new Ram is impressive in a few key ways, and the powertrain is one of the most notable. This is maybe the smoothest combustion engine I can think of in any vehicle I've tested at any point recently. It's so smooth, in fact, that you really don't hear it or feel it running at all. I would almost say it's too smooth, because I kind of like some coarseness in a combustion engine, just to let me know that there's something going on there, that there are mechanical processes going on under the hood that makes me feel like I'm driving a pickup. Stop!
Whoa,
stop!
stop!
No!
112 miles divided by 4.869 equals 23 dead. So here's what I have to say about this new Hurricane power plant. Of course, off-roading, you don't need a lot of horsepower. So we didn't do like a 0 to 60 in this video. But I can tell this is a very smooth power plant. All right, he had a good launch.
Might have jumped on the start there a little bit, but I got to do something to try and make up for the power difference.
doesn't look like it matters at all.
And there's just nothing you can do, man. That RHO, tell you what, when it starts cooking, it boils.
Yeah. They also have the high output version of this engine, 540 horsepower version. But this, in a truck that's used, you could make a deal, perhaps. That's an attractive proposition. But let me show you around the gauges of this truck and show you one other item that I wish it had and that may prevent me from buying this truck. Okay, so I have the truck idling right now and I want to pop the hood, show you the engine a little bit. Yes, I have a key in my pocket. So the first clue that it's a turbo truck is that SST, straight 6 turbo, is on the hood. It does have the sport hood. It is a Rebel. Why a Rebel off-road truck was a rental, I have no idea. But it was. I would expect a work like a tradesman truck to be a rental. It's very quiet under here. You could see twin turbo. And I'm not sure, but it appears this engine was cleaned or washed. I can't imagine after about a year and 2 months it's this immaculate. I'm smelling, I'm using my nose, but I'm not seeing any wet spots or drip spots, or I'm not seeing any signs of anything bad. The belt, the serpentine belt is spinning. When the truck was off camera, I kind of took a close look at the belt and it seemed all good. Well, of course, it's only about a year old and about 48,000 miles. So another clue about the engine is the sticker, emission sticker here, 3-liter twin turbo. So if you're shopping for a used vehicle and you're unsure about certain things, of course you could look up its history using the VIN, but you can also do a visual inspection. And the front bumper, I'm trying to look. I don't see any scratches. I don't see any kind of gashes. This does have a radar right here. So they're adaptive cruise control capable, but no front camera. So this was kind of a more basic Ram Rebel build. These trucks can get up to $80,000 brand new. So for 66, this was kind of a more basic truck. Underneath, I kind of looked at all of the skid plates. They're not showing any signs of scratches or damage. So in my mind, this truck was used as kind of just a rental, just to go from one place to another. Maybe it was hauling something. Let's take a look. So the bed is not lined. I'm not super surprised by this. But, okay, so there's lots of scratches here, but they're minor. So this truck was used to carry something, maybe boxes, maybe luggage, maybe other items. You can kind of see some scratches. It does have lights here in the bed. But, you know what? You could pay about $600 and get this truck sprayed with a bed liner at a variety of different shops and be very happy. The bed will look brand new, and then you could put a tonneau cover on it and have yourself a pretty nice truck. This does have a hitch, of course. It does have 7-pin connector, 4-pin connector for a trailer right there. And of course the dual exhaust system. The tires look like they were changed, maybe new tires, but they look proper. They look like they are proper size, proper spec for this truck. But you could also check part numbers and just to make sure. Oh wait, this tire has a date code of the end 50th week of 2023. There's no way that these are original tires. I mean, after 49,000 miles, they look pretty good. Of course, I think these knobs are a little bit worn, but from 10 feet or 5 feet, these tires look quite good. And that's the thing about buying a rental vehicle after it's done its rental duty is that it is likely that it was well maintained. Tires rotated, oil changed. Let me know if you work at a rental place as a mechanic or somebody who services rental vehicles. There are the Bilstein shocks. Let me know if I'm wrong. But I have some history with this. My wife years ago bought a rental vehicle. It was a Subaru Legacy, and she put about 120,000 miles on it after she bought it. It was problem free for like 10 years. So buying a rental is, some people are really scared of that, but I think you may be able to find a good deal on a really cool vehicle and still get a very nice vehicle. All right, let's look at the gauges. And here's the thing that I don't like. There is no brake controller here. So if I was to consider this truck for myself personally, I would have to add a brake controller. Like you said, there's wiring in the bumper. So there's some trailer wiring there. And I think this would not be a huge deal, but it would probably cost anywhere from $500 to $600, maybe even more dollars, because first of all, you have to buy the part, which could cost about $200 to $300 as far as factory integration. Like, I'm not talking about an aftermarket thing that hangs down below by your knee and you bang your knee into it all the time. I'm talking about the factory integration. And then you have to pay probably a dealership because they have the appropriate digital tools to actually install it and reconfigure your vehicle. So that's the way I would go if I was to purchase this truck used. But that's a bummer. Like, if I had to buy something today, I'll probably walk away because this truck does not have a trailer brake controller that I need to pull my trailers. This has 4Auto. All this works. I've checked the 4Low. So everything seems to be working properly. Right there, it just takes a few seconds. It clicks. You can actually hear it sometimes from underneath your vehicle. And then you could choose 4 high or 4 automatic, which is really nice that it's equipped like this. Put it back into park. Like I said, it has adaptive cruise control system here. And then also oil level. So this does not have a dipstick. There's many stories about it. And you do have a digital. I wish it did have a dipstick because then I can pull it out for you right here. I can show you, well, the dealership changed the oil. I could see the paperwork about it, and I could see it here in oil life because somebody reset it. But there's nothing that beats actually touching, pulling out the dipstick, touching the oil, make sure it's not hot, of course, but you could also smell it and see the color of it. Just don't burn yourself, obviously. But there's kind of nothing that beats it because you can kind of see directly what that engine looks like. Of course, you can change your own oil and or ask for the dealership or whoever is selling it not to change their oil, and you do it yourself. But it seems like all the other gauges and everything else here is really in good shape. This shows about 16.9 mpg, but this truck was idling a heck of a lot. And the reason I know this is because I was looking at engine hours. So 275 hours of idle time and 936 hours of drive time. So this engine has seen some hours already. And that's why I think the efficiency is showing a little bit lower than you might hope, because the idle, you're kind of wasting fuel right now. It's just sitting here like I am right now. So I haven't 4Auto like I have been for this first drive. So after driving this and checking it out, this truck looks very, very solid. Here's my final verdict. I have checked on NHTSA, and this has 3 recalls for 2025 Ram 1500. One is a kind of misprinted sticker for a very low number of trucks. There is also a stability control recall because some of the front wheel sensors may have been damaged during production. So that's about 33,000 trucks. And there's another minor recall. None of them have to do with powertrain. So I think Ram may have nailed it. They're using the ZF 8-speed automatic transmission that's been very, very well regarded for durability, reliability, and this engine has no recalls. It's also used in a Jeep Wagoneer, Grand Wagoneer, in a high output version as well as the standard one with 420 horsepower. So, of course, you may have a Jeep Wagoneer with more miles, so let me know about that in the comments below. But this truck feels very solid, driving-wise, inspection-wise. I'm impressed. So is it going to be durable for the long haul? Well, this is a very positive sign that it very well could be. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and check out oldtfl.com for everything automotive in one place.